This Japanese mindset will make you love your life again. Have you ever felt like life is slipping away, as if you're constantly jumping from one task to another, chasing achievement after achievement, yet feeling a persistent void? Maybe you scroll through social media, binge watch your favorite shows, or tick off items on your to-do list, but there's still a quiet question lingering deep within. Is this really all there is? It's a heavy thought, isn't it? But what if the problem isn't life itself, but the way we're living it? Today, I want to introduce you to a Japanese concept that has the power to change how you see your life. It's called Ichigo Ichie, which translates loosely to one time, one meeting. At its essence, this philosophy reminds us that every moment in life is singular, fleeting, and can never be repeated. Take a moment to let that sink in. Each interaction you have, every sunset you witness, every sip of coffee you enjoy, it's all happening for the first and last time right now. But here's a critical question. Do you live as though that's true? Or do you let these moments slip by unnoticed? We've all been guilty of it. Sitting with someone we care about, yet scrolling through our phones or mentally planning the next thing on our list. Eating meals without savoring their flavors. Walking through breathtaking places while barely noticing our surroundings. Talking to others without truly listening. We behave as though life is infinite, as though we'll have countless chances to experience the same moment again. But the reality is, we won't. This is where Ichigo Ichie becomes so powerful. It urges us to treat every moment as if it's the only one we'll ever have, because in truth it is. It calls on us to be fully present, to truly live in the now, and to be deeply aware of the beauty and impermanence of what's unfolding around us. Let's be honest though, living this way isn't easy. The modern world is full of distractions that constantly pull us away from the present. In doing so, we miss the only thing that truly exists, this moment. So let me ask you this. When was the last time you were truly present? When was the last time you felt completely alive, fully connected, and completely immersed in the here and now? Here's something profound. Ichigo Ichie doesn't just make life feel more beautiful, it gives it deeper meaning. By embracing this mindset, you begin to realize that even the smallest moments hold incredible value. A heartfelt conversation with a stranger, the soothing sound of rain tapping on your window, the golden light filtering through the trees. These aren't mere coincidences, they're once-in-a-lifetime experiences. Click subscribe to this channel to explore more life-changing insights like this. But here's the paradox. The more we try to hold on to these moments, the quicker they slip through our fingers. Ichigo Ichie isn't about grasping at the present. It's about appreciating it as it flows naturally. It's about releasing the need to control time and instead surrendering to the rhythm of life. And this brings us to the core of this philosophy, impermanence. In Japanese culture, impermanence isn't seen as something to fear, it's something to embrace. Consider cherry blossoms. They bloom for just a few weeks each year, yet their fleeting nature doesn't diminish their beauty, it amplifies it. Their transience makes us treasure them even more. What if we viewed our own lives the same way? What if, instead of dreading the passing of time, we saw it as a gift? What if, instead of rushing through life, we slowed down and truly appreciated the moments we have, no matter how small or ordinary they might seem? In the next section, we'll delve into why we often resist being present, how our obsession with control and permanence distracts us from the beauty of the now, and how Ichigo Ichie provides a powerful remedy to the anxiety and dissatisfaction of modern life. The illusion of control, why we fear the present moment. Let's pause for a moment and confront a straightforward yet uncomfortable question. Why do we avoid being present? If the present is the only time we truly have, why are we so quick to escape it, distract ourselves, or numb it with endless noise and business? The answer lies in a profound and nearly universal fear, the fear of uncertainty. The present moment is unpredictable. It defies control, cannot be planned perfectly, and often refuses to align with our expectations. The past feels safer because it has already occurred. The future feels secure because it exists in our imagination, something we think we can plan for and shape. But the present? The present is raw, unscripted, and full of unknowns. And here's the paradox. By avoiding the present, we are clinging to an illusion of control. Take a moment to reflect. How much of your time and energy is spent trying to manage outcomes, dodge discomfort, or dictate what comes next? How often do you relive the past, wishing you could rewrite it, or daydream about a future where everything is exactly as you want it to be? But here's a truth we often resist. Control is an illusion. No matter how much you prepare or how carefully you plan, life will always find ways to surprise you. Unexpected events will arise, people will change, and circumstances will shift. The more tightly you hold on to the idea of control, the harder it becomes to truly live. This is where Ichigo Ichie becomes a guiding light. It doesn't just teach us to cherish the present, it invites us to release our grip on control. It's a gentle reminder that life isn't a puzzle to solve or a race to win. Life is simply meant to be experienced, one moment at a time. But let's be honest, letting go of control is frightening, isn't it? It requires surrendering to the unknown. It means accepting that the present moment might not always feel good. It could bring discomfort, sadness, or uncertainty. As human beings, we're naturally inclined to avoid pain. We bury ourselves in work, entertainment, or endless scrolling because we're afraid of facing the unfiltered reality of the moment. So let me ask you, what would happen if you stopped running? What if you allowed yourself to fully embrace the present, even when it's uncomfortable? This is the beauty of Ichigo Ichie. It reminds us that even the moments we resist, those awkward conversations, rainy afternoons, or fleeting doubts, are integral to the human experience. They are just as rare and irreplaceable as moments of joy. By welcoming them, we discover a deeper sense of freedom. Yet, living in the present also requires accepting its impermanence, a challenge for so many of us. We want to cling to the good times and push away the difficult ones, but that's not how life works. Cherry blossoms fall, seasons shift, people enter and exit our lives. In our desperate attempt to hold on to what's slipping away, we often overlook the beauty inherent in its impermanence. Ichigo Ichie teaches us that impermanence is not a flaw to fix, but a truth to celebrate. Each moment, no matter how fleeting, is a precious gift. When we stop trying to control time, we unlock the fullness and richness of life. Take a moment to reflect. What are you holding on to right now? What are you afraid of losing? How is that fear preventing you from fully living in this moment? In the next part, we'll explore how to bring the principles of Ichigo Ichie into your daily life. Together, we'll look at simple, practical steps to live more mindfully, let go of control, and rediscover the joy and gratitude that come from fully embracing the present. Living the moment, how to bring Ichigo Ichie into your daily life. By now, we've delved into the heart of Ichigo Ichie, a philosophy of cherishing the fleeting beauty of each moment and releasing our attachment to controlling time. Yet understanding this concept alone isn't enough. Philosophy becomes transformative only when it's put into action. So how can we bring this profound idea into our busy, chaotic daily routines? How can we turn Ichigo Ichie from a lofty concept into a meaningful practice? It begins with awareness. For many of us, life is lived on autopilot. We wake up, check our phones, rush through breakfast, and dive into the day without ever pausing to notice the world around us. Days blur into weeks, weeks into years, until we find ourselves wondering, where did the time go? But Ichigo Ichie invites us to wake up, to break free from this haze and truly experience the moments that make up our lives. Here's a simple exercise to start. The next time you're engaged in something routine, drinking your morning coffee, walking in the park, or chatting with a friend, pause. Take a deep breath. Pay attention to the details. How does your coffee smell? What does the sunlight feel like on your skin? What emotions are emerging during the conversation? These everyday moments may seem insignificant, but when you immerse yourself in them, they transform into something extraordinary. Now consider this. How many moments in your life have you fully lived? Not hurried through, not diluted with distractions, but completely absorbed yourself in. Imagine what your life could look like if you approach more moments this way. Another way to embody Ichigo Ichie is to treat every interaction as though it could be your last. This isn't meant to be morbid. Rather, it's a way to awaken to the preciousness of time. Picture yourself spending time with someone dear to you. What if this were the final time you'd see them? How would you act? What would you say? How would you feel? The reality is, none of us knows when our last meeting with someone will be. Life is unpredictable, and every goodbye has the potential to be a final farewell. Instead of fearing this, Ichigo Ichie encourages us to use this awareness as inspiration to be fully present. Listen with intention, show gratitude, relish the moments you share with the people you love. Here's another practice. At the end of each day, think back on one moment that stood out to you. It doesn't have to be something monumental. Perhaps it was the sound of leaves rustling in the wind or the warmth in someone's smile. Write down. This habit trains your mind to recognize and appreciate the beauty in the everyday, helping you notice moments that might otherwise pass you by. However, Ichigo Ichie isn't only about appreciating life's joys, it's also about being present with its challenges. When we face pain, it's natural to want to escape, to numb ourselves or rush past the discomfort. But Ichigo Ichie reminds us that even difficult moments are part of what makes us human. They too are transient and irreplaceable. So, the next time you feel sadness, anxiety, or frustration, resist the urge to run. Instead, pause. Observe those emotions. Let yourself feel them fully, without judgment. Ask yourself, what is this moment teaching me? What lessons can I draw from this experience? You may discover that even pain holds a kind of beauty, a reminder of your resilience, your ability to grow, and your capacity to be alive. Practicing Ichigo Ichie also means stepping away from multitasking. When we try to juggle too many things at once, we dilute the richness of our experiences. For example, instead of savoring your meal, you might find yourself scrolling through Instagram. Instead of being fully engaged in a conversation, your mind might wander to your to-do list. But when you focus on just one thing, you give yourself the priceless gift of presence. Here's a challenge. Choose one activity each day to do with full mindfulness. It could be eating a meal, taking a walk, or even washing the dishes. As you do it, slow down. Notice the sensations, textures, and sounds. Treat that activity as if it's the only thing that matters in that moment, because, in a way, it is. By weaving these practices into your daily life, you can begin to live the principles of Ichigo Ichie, not just in theory, but in practice. The freedom of impermanence, rediscovering joy and meaning through Ichigo Ichie. Let's conclude this journey with a profound realization. Everything in life is impermanent. At first, this thought may feel unsettling, but in reality, it holds the key to true freedom, lasting joy, and deep meaning. The philosophy of Ichigo Ichie is more than simply appreciating the present. It's about recognizing that life's fleeting nature is precisely what makes it beautiful. Consider this: if moments stretched on forever, would we still value them? If the seasons never changed, would we marvel at the delicate bloom of spring or the golden hues of autumn? It is their impermanence, their fragility, that makes these experiences so precious. Yet, as humans, we resist this truth. We cling to what's familiar, to what feels safe. We dwell on the past, wishing we could rewrite it, or anxiously fixate on a future where we believe happiness lies. In doing so, we lose sight of the only thing that truly exists, the present. Let me ask you, what would it feel like to embrace the fact that nothing lasts forever, not with fear, but with liberation? What if, instead of holding on to what's slipping away, you allowed yourself to let go and move effortlessly with the flow of life? This is the deeper wisdom of Ichigo Ichie. It teaches us to find peace in impermanence. When we understand that every moment is unrepeatable, we stop taking life for granted. We stop rushing, believing there will always be another tomorrow. Instead, we begin to show up fully, completely, right here and now. But this doesn't mean we should live in constant fear of losing what we hold dear. In fact, Ichigo Ichie encourages the opposite, to love more deeply. When you know a moment is finite, you savor it. You treasure the sound of a friend's laughter, the warmth of a comforting embrace, the soothing rhythm of rain on a window. You no longer withhold gratitude, affection, or appreciation because you understand that this person, this experience, may never come again. Here's a powerful question to ponder. If today were your last day, how would you live it? Who would you spend it with? What would you say? What would you notice that you often overlook? Now ask yourself, what is stopping you from living that way every day? The truth is, we often wait for grand occasions to feel alive, the holidays, the milestones, the celebrations. But life isn't built on big moments. It's woven from the small, ordinary ones. The way sunlight dances on your desk, the sound of a loved one's voice, the simple act of taking a deep breath. Ichigo Ichie reminds us that joy doesn't depend on extraordinary circumstances. It comes from paying attention. The beauty you're searching for is already here. It always has been. But there's another gift that